What's up, YouTube? My name is Batman, and today I'm playing on the map Hijacked, which I've said was my least favorite map, and that's because if you're playing this on any game type really except for domination or like capture the flag, I think the spawns are kind of messed up. Like, you know, if you're playing on team deathmatch, you'll spend, 10 or 15 seconds pushing to one end of the boat, right? Fighting the enemies, chasing them out of their holes and their rooms, and you'll get to that end of the ship, and then they'll literally spawn behind you, and then they'll come flank you, and they'll fight you and kill you out of your holes, and then you'll spawn behind them, and it's sort of like this repeating circle of just each team getting flanked up the rear again and again and again. And that's on games like Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed. It's because it's just so linear, and the spawns are so obvious that you're going to push forward, and as soon as you're done pushing forward, the enemy's going to spawn behind you, and they're going to push forward right up your ass, and you're not going to have time to turn around, or maybe you will, but your team won't have any idea what's going on, and then you'll be in a dangerous situation. Even if you can react to getting flanked in the rear, it's just never a good idea to get flanked in the rear. But that's not what happens here in this game, because this is domination. The spawns are a little bit fixed, and I think what I've learned is going to be the fundamental difference between Black Ops 2 and previously Modern Warfare 3 is spawn trapping. Spawn trapping is happening on this game. It's going to be a thing. People are going to do it. There are going to be really good spawn traps, and there are no death streaks, and I'm not sure what the proper way to break the spawn trap is. Now you see I'm up in this building right here. I think I had like one other teammate, and this was like our third or fourth time playing the map again. All these games are from pretty early on, and so we didn't have a very vivid idea of how to properly spawn trap on this on this map. But right here, if you get one guy in that balcony that you see me, I'm in right here, and you get one guy off to the left and you get one guy off to the right, clipping those. There's two perfect little clipping barrels that you can head glitch on either side of this building. And you'll see I spend a good portion of this map head glitching the one on the left side, and I get 4 or 5 kills on guys that are literally just spawning like right in front of me. If you can get one guy on each of those, and you get one guy up in this balcony right here, with just 3 people, you have an unbreakable spawn trap. God forbid you should have 6 people. You have 2 people up here on the balcony. You have one guy in the doorway on the first floor, and then you have one guy on each on each side head glitching those little barrel things. You have an unbreakable spawn trap. I don't see any way they can get through that, and the spawns don't seem to be flipping. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. It's a little early in the game to decide how OP the spawn trapping is going to be, but it is very different from what Modern Warfare 3 was. Modern Warfare 3, their maps were designed specifically so you couldn't spawn trap. Think of a map that you could spawn trap on. You can't think of one, is the point I'm trying to make. Hard Hat was very circular. You had Resistance, very rectangular-ish. There was always, there was never a set spawn trap, and the maps were very big, which also made it hard to spawn trap. And on top of that, they had very powerful death streaks, and that's one thing I'm happy is gone. The death streaks were bullshit, because they made the death streaks in every previous Call of Duty. They had these death streaks that were designed to break the spawn trap, but they would never even be used to break spawn traps. They would more often or not be used to just they wouldn't even be used with an intention, but they would just end up ruining your day, because you'd be rushing and you'd stab some guy and he'd go into dead man's hand and blow you up or whatever. They wouldn't be used the way they were intended, and when they're not used the way they're intended, they're cheap. So I'm glad death streaks are gone. But spawn trapping is going to be a thing in this game, and it's not just this map. I can't think of specific. Oh, Yemen. Yemen is a big spawn trap map, I think. I'm not sure yet. I haven't worked it out perfectly. I think you'd probably need a full team of 6, but it seems like it could be a good spawn trap map. And so that's something that, I guess they disagree with Infinity Ward on. Is Infinity Ward's biggest thing was we're not going to let spawn trapping go on anymore. We've seen players abuse this in previous games. Specifically, I know they didn't do death streaks in Black Ops, and then we all saw in Black Ops 1, and then we all saw the demolition spawn trapping on that. and it ruined the game for a lot of players. And these aren't necessarily the most vocal players because they're the little kids, right? Which, believe it or not, and I think most people will believe it, is like the main customer base for Call of Duty is these little kids. And spawn trapping ruined the game for a lot of them because they didn't understand why it was happening, but it was happening a lot, and not just on Demolition, you know, on pretty much any game mode where there were fixed spawns, you know, any game mode that wasn't team deathmatch really. And you know, that was happening, and I think Infinity Ward saw that, and they did everything in their power to make sure there was no spawn trapping at all in Modern Warfare 3. Even on Demolition, if you pushed into their spawn, they would spawn in your spawn and come flank you, kind of like how I was talking about on this map right here. You know, it almost feels like, I almost feel like there's like a Treyarch Infinity Ward, like they both think the other game developer is stupid or their priorities are in the wrong place. You know, because it feels like when one game does something and then the next game makes a point of not doing it, or you know, vice versa, isn't that kind of like a slap in the face to the game before you? I don't know, but yeah, that's my, you know, that's my 2 cents going into this. You can spawn trap on this map. You can do it very well. If you have 3 people, you can make an almost invincible spawn trap. And be wary of the spawn trap in this game because it's going to be a thing. This is Batman signing out.